questions about what does element mean, what does subset mean. But very quickly, the idea is that a set, like if I have the set A, B, C, right, we can think of that as, and I don't want to call it a bag anymore because a bag is actually a data structure, I'll call it a sack. In the videos I call it a bag, forgive me. But I have a sack here with 3 elements just floating around in there, right? Because a set is not ordered, right? Everybody has to nod at me now. You can look at your phones, but you need to nod, okay? So we've got this set, and if I want to say, is the letter A in this set, right? Just is there one thing in my what did I call it, sack, right? I can say, is A an element of my set ABC? And the answer is yes. A is indeed an element of ABC. I can also say things like subset. So I can say, suppose I have another sack here that has just B and C in it. And I have yet another one here that has A, B, and E in it. All right? So this represents the set BC. This represents the set ABE, right? And element means, can I find this thing in here? Subset means, is everything in the one thing in the other thing? So if I say, is the set BC a subset of the set ABC, that's saying, everything in here is that in here, right? Everything in here is that in here. So the answer for this one would be yes, but if I say, is the set ABE a subset of ABC, I'd say, no way, because the A is in here and the B is in here, but the E is not in here, so it's not a subset, right? And the last thing that makes these guys tricky is when I do sets like something like this, where I say, here's a set that has a bag with an A in it, a B, an empty bag, and a bag with a D and an E in it, right? So this thing here, which is still in the video, yes, good, is, let's see, what's in this set? Well, I have a B by itself. I have a bag, not a bag, what's it called? Sack, thank you. A sack with just letter A in it. I have another sack with the letter D and E in it. And then I have a sack with nothing in it, right? Which I could also refer to using our shorthand as the empty set, right? And so if I ask you whether, let's call this whole thing Q, right? And if I ask you, is the set containing A a subset of Q, the answer is no. Because I have to say, is there an A by itself in this bag? No. There's a bag with an A in it, but there's no A. Yeah.
So if you had another pair of brackets on that, then we make them.
That's right. So if I said, is that a subset of Q? The answer is yes. Furthermore, the empty set is a subset of any set, right? Because that says, because remember the empty set is saying, is everything in here and here? Well, there's nothing in here, so it is, yeah.
It's a symbol, it's not element of this intersects.
Oh, so this one is subset symbol.
Oh, subset.
Yeah, it's just subset,
okay.
right? And it's the equal to or proper subset of, but yeah, that's the generic one. Yep.
Is the empty set also part of just that ABC set?
So is the empty set an element of this? So that's a good question. So is the empty set an element of this ABC set? And that says, if I look in here, right, so when I said, is A an element, I said, if I look in here, do I see an A floating around? The answer was yes. This says, if I look in here, do I see an empty sack floating around? The answer is no. So the empty set is not an element of this set, However, the empty set is an element of Q, right? Because there's an empty bag floating in Q. So the empty set is indeed an element of Q. Yeah. Good? Okay, there's a bunch of questions, but I will answer them, but I also want to keep going and get on to other stuff. Yeah.
So the set of A, would that be an element of Q?
Q? So yes, this is the set containing A is indeed, element of Q. Sorry, let's see. So you want to know, is this an element of Q? And that says, can you find an A in a bag inside a Q? And the answer is yes.
Okay, thank you.
Right, you're welcome. More questions?
Is the empty string part one?
Empty string is a completely different beast. Empty string is a thing, right? It's just like two quotes next to each other in Java, and really has nothing to do with this. We could have a set, right? When we start talking about strings, sets of strings, right? Languages, then we maybe put in, here's a language, right? That is in my, well, it's just a language, which is a set of strings, right? But this guy isn't a letter per se, right? It's not a letter in an alphabet. It's just it is a special magical thing, right? Yeah. There was one more question.
Would the empty set be is it a subset of ABC?
Yeah. So the empty set is a subset of absolutely every other set, because the empty set, if you look at what the empty set is, right? Remember when we do subset, of, let's say, ABC, right? When we said find me another subset. When we said, is BC a subset, right? The set containing BC a subset of this set? We said, well, let me check everything in this one, make sure it's in this one. Well, what's in here? B, yep. C, yep. So, yeah, it's a subset, right? And for this one, I say, check everything in here. Is it in here? Well, there's nothing in here, so yeah. Yeah, it's easy.